Okay, welcome to the deep dive. Today, we are really getting into something pretty powerful.
We are. We're talking about how our imagination and, well, our willpower aren't just these abstract things.
Right, but like actual potent forces for shaping our reality. We're talking manifestation, subconscious reprogramming, the big stuff.
It really gets to the heart of things, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And we're digging into this based on a really interesting source today.
Yeah, just one article, but it packs a punch. It's called Imagination and Willpower Unveiled, Bob Proctor and Joseph Murphy on Manifestation.
And the article itself kind of promises to lay out the secrets,
Yeah.
how these concepts unlock our potential.
So our mission here is, well, to unpack this source,
Yeah.
pull out the absolute gold nuggets of insight.
Focusing especially on Bob Proctor and Joseph Murphy, two giants in this field.
And the article suggests they maybe surprisingly overlap a lot, pointing towards some kind of universal truth, maybe, about becoming what you envision and believe.
Exactly. Think of this as our journey where maybe the mystical meets the practical.
Practical is good. The article mentions tools derived from their work, stuff you can actually use.
Yeah, methods you could start using, like today, will
Oh.
turn imagination into reality.
Okay, so where does the article say we should begin? Looks like it starts with Bob Proctor, his take on imagination.
Right. Proctor's core idea really was that imagination is this incredible mental tool. It lets us create, quite literally, something out of nothing.
Something from nothing, wow.
Yeah, and think about it. Every invention, every goal achieved, it all started as just an image, right, in someone's mind.
Okay.
But Proctor's key point, and the article highlights this, is that we're always using this imagination faculty. Constantly.
Ah, okay, there's the catch. So we're using it, but maybe not productively.
Often, yeah, unconsciously. We default to picturing, our fears, problems, what might go wrong.
Instead of what we actually want.
Exactly. So his whole thing was about the conscious, deliberate use of imagination, actively choosing to picture the reality you do want to create.
Got it. So it's not just idle daydreaming, it's the active starting point, where thoughts become things comes from.
And he wasn't vague about it.
Yeah.
The article stresses you need a crystal clear image. You have to really build it in your mind.
Spend time on it, like detailed daydreaming.
Yes, exactly. Vivid detail. Engage your senses. What does it look like, sound like, feel like in that future reality?
And there's that other piece Proctor hammered home, right? Imagining from the inside out.
Oh, absolutely crucial. Don't let your current situation, your current reality, limit what you build in your mind.
So you close your eyes and you're not watching a movie of your future self.
No, you are in it. You put yourself inside that scene, experiencing it like it's happening right now.
Okay, that internal vision, packed with detail and emotion. What does that do?
Well, Proctor saw it like planting a seed, a very specific seed. You're putting it right into your subconscious mind.
And the repetition, the feeling that helps it grow.
That's what makes it take root. The more you revisit that vision, the more you charge it with the feeling of already having it. That impressed idea eventually just have to express. It becomes your lived experience.
Okay, so imagination is the seed and maybe the fertile ground. What about willpower? Where does that fit in Proctor's view, according to the article?
Willpower, as Proctor taught it and as it's presented here, is really about concentration. It's the mental muscle for focus.
Its job is to...
Its main job is to hold that vision steady, to keep your focus locked onto that desired image, even with all the static and distractions swirling around.
Which feels more important than ever today. So many distractions.
Totally. And Proctor had this quote, the article includes it, it's really powerful. What a person concentrates on, they think about. What they think about, they become.
Ah, okay. That connects the dots. Concentrate on the goal. Think about the goal. Become the person who achieves the goal.
Precisely. It forces you into a conscious choice, doesn't it?
Yeah. Where are you putting that mental energy? On fear and lack?
Or are you directing it with focus toward your desire, your goal? Willpower is the discipline to keep pointing it in the right direction.
So the combo is imagination creates the blueprint, plants the seed.
And willpower is like the focused sunlight and water. It provides that steady, persistent energy.
It makes it grow.
Yeah, the article frames it nicely. It's an act of faith, really. Sustained focus, that persistence, holding the image with feeling, is what impresses it deep enough to manifest via the subconscious.
Okay, this is making sense. Now, the article brings in another huge Proctor concept. Vibration. How does that link up with imagination and willpower?
Right, vibration. According to the source, Proctor saw the law of vibration as, like, the main law. Law of attraction was secondary to it.
Interesting. Why primary?
Because everything vibrates.
Mm.
Everything is energy moving at a certain frequency. Our thoughts, our emotions, the images we hold, they all have a vibration.
So when you vividly imagine your goal as done and you feel the positive emotions of having it,
You are literally changing your personal vibration. You're tuning yourself, consciously, to the frequency of that reality you desire.
which leads to that saying, you don't get what you want.
You get what you are in vibrational harmony with. That's the core idea highlighted in the article.
Wow. That really flips the script. It's not about chasing things.
No, it's about aligning your inner state, your vibration, with the vibration of already having it.
And that acting as if idea comes in here too, then.
Exactly. When you act as if you're already that successful person, thinking like them, feeling like them, taking actions from that state, you raise your frequency.
And like attracts like, vibrationally speaking.
Right. That higher vibration naturally draws in matching energy, people, opportunities, resources that exist on that same vibrational level.
So changing your inner world literally changes your outer results.
And this is where, as the article points out, Joseph Murphy's work just slots in perfectly. His understanding of the subconscious was so deep.
He called it the treasure house within, didn't he?
Yeah, that famous phrase, he saw the subconscious as this incredibly powerful but totally impersonal servant.
Impersonal meaning.
Meaning, it doesn't judge. It doesn't argue or filter based on whether something is good or bad, true or false for you.
It just accepts whatever the conscious mind feeds it.
Pretty much. Whatever the conscious mind believes, and this is key, repeatedly impresses upon it, especially with strong feeling.
So if I keep telling myself I'm not good enough, the subconscious just goes, okay, got it.
That's Murphy's point, yeah. The article quotes him, "Whatever we impress upon the subconscious mind will manifest outwardly in our life." It takes instructions, literally, especially when they come with that emotional charge, that conviction.
It's like that garden analogy again. Conscious thoughts are the seeds.
And the subconscious is the fertile soil. It'll grow anything you plant there. Weeds, flowers, doesn't care.
Makes you really want to guard your thoughts carefully. Be intentional.
Absolutely. Be a very intentional gardener of your mind.
Now, central to Murphy's whole approach, and the article really emphasizes this, were two things: faith and feeling.
Oh, non-negotiable for Murphy. Faith, though, in this context, it wasn't about religion per se.
What was it then?
It was about profound inner certainty, mentally accepting your goal as already achieved, holding that conviction even before you see any proof in the outside world.
Like a deep knowing.
Exactly. And the article mentions his case studies, people experiencing what looked like miracles, healings, unexpected wealth.
Which he put down to subconscious belief acting through this faith principle.
Entirely. Generating the feeling of faith, that feeling of it being done, is like a direct command the subconscious understands and has to obey.
Okay, so it's not just thinking the thought, it's the feeling of it being real. That's the language it gets.
That's the signal it responds to most powerfully.
All right, so if the subconscious is the soil, feeling is the powerful command. How do we actually do the impressing? What methods did Murphy recommend?
The article lays out a few key techniques from his work. Repetition is huge.
Just saying it over and over.
Yeah, but consciously. And visualization, of course. Plus, using emotionally charged affirmations, what he called autosuggestion.
So choosing positive statements, present tense, feeling them, and repeating them often, especially when relaxed.
Exactly. Like before sleep or upon waking, when the conscious mind is quieter and the subconscious is more receptive.
And visualization, again, seems like both Proctor and Murphy saw that as vital.
Because imagery and emotion, that's the native language, right?
Yeah.
Vividly imagining with your senses engaged makes it real for the subconscious, gives it something concrete to work on.
It really is striking how, like, the article shows Proctor and Murphy ended up in such similar places, just using maybe slightly different words.
They really do describe the same core truth, just from different angles. And in notes, Proctor actually recommended Murphy's book, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. He saw the connection.
So let's spell out those connections a bit more. Murphy's faith.
Sounds an awful lot like Proctor's emphasis on belief and expectation, doesn't it?
It really does. And Murphy talking about impressing the subconscious.
That lines up perfectly with Proctor teaching about changing your paradigm, shifting those deep-seated subconscious beliefs and habits.
Right, the inner programming. And where Murphy mentions infinite intelligence.
Proctor often talked about spirit, or the laws of the universe. It's the same underlying power they're both pointing to.
So together, they give you this kind of combined roadmap.
Yeah, it's like timeless spiritual insights blended with practical, modern personal growth strategies. A
Hmm.
really powerful synthesis.
And the best part, maybe, is that it's not just abstract theory. The article gives us actual practical exercises based on their work.
Yeah, real tools you can pick up and use right away to start applying this stuff.
Let's run through them. What did the article list?
Okay, so there's daily visualization, spending, say, 5–10 minutes really vividly living in the end result, feeling it.
Got it. Wait.
Affirmations, crafting those positive present tense statements and repeating them with real feeling.
Makes sense.
Using a goal card, writing your main goal down, carrying it, reading it often throughout the day, keeps it top of mind.
Simple, but probably effective.
Then there's the act as if ritual, consciously stepping into the energy, the mindset, the actions of the person who already has what you desire.
Embodying it.
Exactly. Also, concentration meditation, like focusing on a candle flame or just holding your goal image steady in your mind to build that willpower muscle.
Strengthening the focus.
Uh-huh. Nighttime programming, using those moments right before sleep for affirmations or visualization when the subconscious is super receptive.
Primetime programming.
Yeah. And gratitude practice, starting or ending the day by focusing on what you're thankful for. And crucially, including thanks for your desired outcome as if it's already here.
Feeling grateful in advance. Powerful.
And one more, scripting. Basically journaling as your future self. Writing about your life as if the dream is already fully real.
Wow, okay. That's quite a toolkit. Lots of ways in.
Definitely gives you options to engage both your conscious and subconscious mind actively.
So wrapping this up, the core message seems to be, well, that your imagination and willpower aren't just passive, they're creative tools. Your creative tools.
And that success or creating the life you want, it really does start inside with your
Mhm.
thoughts, your beliefs, the images you consistently hold and focus on.
So you align that inner world, thoughts, feelings, beliefs with your vision. You hold it steady with faith and focus. You act in harmony with it.
And you're basically directing that huge power of your subconscious mind.
And the universe, as the source puts it, responds to you. The results show up for you.
Which circles right back to that fundamental idea mentioned in the article. You are what you manifest.
See it, focus on it, feel it. Your reality is listening.
And maybe, just as a final thought to take away from this deep dive, we talked a lot about thinking the thoughts, visualizing the images,
Right.
but we also hit on how vital feeling and faith are. So maybe ponder this. Is the real creative spark just in the idea or the picture? Or is it actually the emotional energy, that feeling of it being true right now? Is that what truly creates the vibration and impresses the subconscious?
So it's less about just thinking about it.
And more about cultivating the feeling of having it now. How can you tap into and nurture that feeling today exactly where you are?
That's a deep question to leave things on. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.